So when was the last time you reviewed your processes for your casino hardware, specifically your locks and keys? There's a couple different avenues of locking and keying that you really got to take into consideration when you're reviewing your processes. One is when you do receive locks and keys from your supplier, how do you handle them? What things do you have in place to minimize the potential for a lock or key getting lost during an install? And then after the install and you have your additional keys and locks, what things do you put in place to make sure that they're secure and that you have really a minimal amount of people who has access to it? And then there's a process that when anybody does access it, you know when they've accessed it, what they've taken, and why they've taken it. Once you get through that part of the process, you have your normal operation and you have your keys in the lockbox. When you're looking at that, it's really making sure you follow the processes put in place when a key comes up missing, when an alarm goes off, if an employee were to take one off property, and being able to follow up through on those. And then lastly, which most properties do not do this, is as the operator, especially of the department that holds the keys and locks, you want to know where you stand. How many spares do you always have, right? So if you do want to add 100 slot machines and they want you to put them in a week from now, that when you go to look at your spares, you have 100 spares. Or if you're on your 5th change of the lock and the next time you lose a key, you have to replace your locks, that you've looked to build that into your cost centers or your budget for the next month, the next 6 months, or the next year to make sure you're prepared cost-wise. Really, if you just follow those 3 areas, you'll be very successful.